Hey guys, Valentine's Day is around the corner and I've got some great love-themed fragrances for you today in case you're looking for a fragrance to wear or to gift someone. These are some amazing fragrances that you need to check out. Some really awesome fragrances that I enjoy and wear here and there. So find out about Valentine's themed or love-themed fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian talking to you about love-themed fragrances. Let me know if you have a favorite fragrance you like to wear during the Valentine's Day holiday, I should say. Again, these have the word love in the name, so they're all inspired by love, and I think they're perfect for Valentine's Day. And they go in different directions. The majority of these are unisex. There's one technically a masculine offering, but I think they're all very unisex for a woman to wear as well. So let's get started with the list, but let me know what fragrance you plan on wearing on Valentine's Day. Also, let me know if you plan on gifting any fragrances to your loved ones or friends and relatives or anybody that's your Valentine. And are they Valentine's themed? Add a comment below so we can find out. So let's get started with the fragrances. The first fragrance is the male targeted release. I think it was technically male targeted. They might have made it officially unisex now. This is from the house of FREDERIC MALLE. It's French Lover, this one right here. So this does lean a bit masculine. It's a very green and earthy fragrance with lots of vetiver and galbanum, along with the vegetal note of Angelica with Oakmoss, Cedar, spices, incense, white musk. Created by Pierre Bourdon for FREDERIC MALLE. It's definitely one of the best fragrances from this house, and definitely I think it does lean on the masculine side. The notes in here are quite masculine, but very green, powdery, earthy, woody take on a fragrance. It's a wonderful fragrance, definitely. Maybe you have a French lover and you want to wear that around them. That's the first fragrance. Then we're going to the house of INITIO. It's Psychedelic Love. Not Psychedelic Love. Psychedelic Love from this house definitely is one of the best ones from this house. I really like it. And I know that there's no mention of patchouli. I get a patchouli effect with this one. Maybe there is. I'm just not seeing it posted. But I really like that about this. It's also very powdery and resinous and woody as well, with some light floral notes coming in. There's Bulgarian rose, Hedione, Ylang-Ylang, but lots of heliotrope, myrrh for the resins, sandalwood for the woods. It's powdery. It's definitely a bit nutty with that heliotrope, and for sure resinous ambery with the myrrh, but it balances out with the Ylang-Ylang rose and Hedione, which is basically jasmine. Fantastic creation, Psychedelic Love from the house of INITIO Parfums. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. Next, going to the house of by KILIAN. I feel like I've been speaking quite a bit about by KILIAN this week, but this is definitely one of the fragrances I fell in love with several years ago. I've kind of shelved it now, but I am pretty low on the bottle. Still have a little juice left here. This is Rolling in Love in a nice, gorgeous red bottle, Valentine's red bottle. What I like about this one is powdery once again, and also a bit vegetal and musky. Lots of tuberose with vanilla. There's an almondy effect here, and it's the Ambrette note in here that gives you that kind of musky, powdery effect with iris, freesia, tonka, and musk. So in the end, it's a musky, floral, powdery, nutty fragrance with some sweetness like vanilla, and it comes in the most gorgeous red bottle. I think this is a perfect Valentine's gift because I think that color just totally says Valentine's, and it's got the name or the word love in it. Rolling in Love, perfect for a Valentine's Day fragrance and a nice Valentine's fragrance to gift to somebody. So Rolling in Love from the house of KILIAN. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. Next, going to the house of AMOUAGE. This is a fragrance in the floral collection of fragrances, and this has been a favorite of mine in this collection, and I absolutely love it, and I think it would make a great gift for someone for the Valentine's Day holiday. This is Lilac Love, created by Nathalie Lorson, and I believe Elise Bonnet is also the perfumer behind this. It's a co-creation. Really great floral take on a gourmand fragrance. The lilies, you know, come alive in this, but along with the lilies, there's heliotrope, there's powdery notes with that. There's cacao here to give you a bit of a dusting of cacao on the lilac flowers. There's vanilla, tonka, orris, sandalwood, patchouli, gardenia. Really, really fantastic fragrance. This is the older bottle. They've changed the color. I feel like this color is better, but they kind of went to more of a matte finished bottle and they changed the color to a bit more magenta-ish color. But I think this is basically what it smells like. It's got that kind of lavendery lilac colored bottle, but the fragrance itself is gorgeous. It's basically paying tribute to lilacs. You're in love with lilacs, and this is definitely a lilac bomb, but very gourmand take on it. So this is Lilac Love from the house of AMOUAGE. Let me know if you're familiar with that. All right, going to the house of Francesca Bianchi. It's the Lover's Tale for something very daring and very potent. This is for after the love happened, and this is the experience of what's happened. So it's animalic, leathery, powdery, musky, ambery, honeyed, sweet, and definitely daring fragrance. It does have floral notes in it as well, but the floral notes are covered up in the DNA of Francesca Bianchi with the animalic touches of leather, castoreum, and musk in here. It's daring and also super potent, so a little goes a long way. But if you're the type that likes these kind of fragrances, definitely check this out. Or if you're gifting somebody a fragrance that's into these kind of more animalic style fragrances that are very highly concentrated and super potent, the Lover's Tale is definitely a fragrance to think about when you're, planning to buy a bottle. But the next fragrance, I don't speak about this one. I bought this on a trip to Montreal from Etiquette store. I hadn't ever experienced it. I fell in love with it, and also it's got a great name. This is ex-IDOLO's Love and Crime. Are you guys familiar with this? It's a super yummy gourmand, and I love the name Love and Crime. It's a really great fragrance, and the name is really fun and playful with the kind of fragrance this is. It's gourmand, it's sweet, vanillic, powdery, sugary, and delicious to wear. It's got vanilla sponge cake, baking sugar, red mandarin, cocoa, star anise, and floral notes. To me, it just smells like a baked good that's super yummy to eat. It's almost like you're smelling this so delicious dessert that has just been made, and the fragrance of this dessert, this cake most likely, with frosting and sweetness is in the air, and you're like smelling it, and you're like, your appetite's ready to kind of bite into something yummy. That's what it smells like. It's a super delicious gourmand, and I always forget about it because it comes in the smallest bottle, but it's tucked away, and then I try, but looking through for fragrances that just always skip through it because, as I said, it's quite small, but definitely one to try, especially for the name. It's Love and Crime from ex-IDOLO. Let me know if you're familiar with that fragrance. Have you tried it? Did you enjoy it? So the next fragrance going to the House of Imaginary Authors. It's In Love with Everything. Let me know if you're familiar with this one. This is for the person that loves to love a lot, I guess, right? It's a super fun and playful fragrance and uber fruity and kind of a paying tribute to the 80s and maybe late 70s. As you can see, the big stereo boombox, I should say. But it's got neon raspberry, citrus pulp, coconut palm sugar, sandalwood, tropical punch, and stardust. And that tropical punch is key here. It does act very tropical punchy. So if you like that smell, the stuff that I grew up with in the 80s when I was young, I was drinking quite a bit of that sugary stuff. That kind of what it reminds me of. Plus it has that DNA of Imaginary Authors when it's drying down. But it's super fun and playful, and it's for the person that likes to play around and is a kid at heart and things like that. I think this will be a perfect fragrance for that situation. So that's In Love with Everything from the House of Imaginary Authors. Alright, so next we're going to the House of Mise en Cire. For Your Love. We've got For Your Love. Yes, another bottle that's almost empty. This one is way at the bottom. I do need to buy another bottle because I absolutely love this fragrance. This is basically the anti-Baccarat Rouge because it does have a little bit of a Baccarat Rouge-like vibe when you're wearing it, but it's got a fruitiness in there. But it's got lots of raspberry here, Exaltone, which is a musk, Cachalox, which is a musk, benzoin, and patchouli. So it's got a lot of sillage. It projects quite a bit, and it leaves a great trail along the way, and when you're wearing it, the thing is projecting off of you and people will stop you and ask you what you're wearing. I really love this in the heat, actually. In the summertime, in the heat, it smells great. The projection's even stronger, and I love that. It's something if I want a different fragrance, but I'm, craving something kind of similar to Baccarat Rouge, but I want something a little more playful because it's got the raspberry in it. This is what I would pull for. So this is For Your Love from the House of Mise en Cire. Let me know if you're familiar with that. This next fragrance is actually called Lovers. It's a fruity floral fragrance from the House of Fragrance du Bois and with a Middle Eastern styling to it. So it's got it's got rose and fruity notes like plums and passion fruit, but there's a lot of cashmere wood for the muskiness here. Then there's jasmine, saffron, ginger, patchouli, cedar, bergamot, sandalwood, and vetiver. So I feel like since it has the rose, it's called Lovers. I feel like it makes sense for a great Valentine's Day fragrance, especially if you like the idea of something a bit more Middle Eastern-esque, because it does smell like there's a bit of oud in here, but I think there's no oud in here, and I feel like the saffron is quite prominent, and that's what's giving me a bit of a Middle Eastern edge to it, with a lot of fruits and roses thrown in. So that's Lovers from the House of Fragrance du Bois. Let me know if you're familiar with that and if you enjoy it. This next one is from the House of M. Micallef. This is Secrets of Love Gourmet. So I was actually looking for this bottle the other day and I couldn't find it. I wanted to highlight it as a great alternative to By the Fireplace. This is a fragrance full of chestnuts. If you like By the Fireplace and you wanted more smoke, this is the one to pull for. And I feel like this smells like Bois Talisman with By the Fireplace, because Bois Talisman doesn't have the chestnutty smell, but this one is very chestnutty, but it's the shells of the chestnut that have been burned, charred, that's captured in here. So it's vanilla, leather, incense, chestnuts, oud, labdanum, violet, raspberry. Just be warned, if you're buying this or getting it or trying it, thinking it's going to smell like By the Fireplace, it's that plus a lot of smoke and charred effect in the fragrance. But I like it. It's really, really wonderful. It smells great, and you really pick up the chestnuts in here along with all the smoke. And for me, I really, really love chestnuts, especially when I travel to Europe. I get them because I really love the taste, and I could taste that kind of burned effect when I'm peeling, because it gets on my hands and I'm popping the peeled chestnuts in, and that smell and taste goes into my mouth. And when I'm wearing this, that's the reminder I get. But it's also a great fragrance to gift to somebody. It's called Secrets of Love Gourmet. It's from the House of M. Micallef. Let me know if you're familiar with that one. So continuing on with the love-themed fragrances for Valentine's Day, this next fragrance is from a house called Perfume Sucks. This is Love 6567. So thankfully, it's a great fragrance to recommend because a lot of the fragrances in this collection seems very daring and off-the-wall different. So they're not easy to wear, but this Love 6567 is a perfect Valentine's Day fragrance, and it really does capture the theme of love with the fragrance. It's got notes of popcorn, caramel, tolu balsam, cypriol, musk, and nard or jatamansi. But really nicely done, so super delicious. Gourmand, but also salty, popcorny, kind of grainy, and you definitely experience the texture of it. But I think if somebody received a fragrance like this and it's your loved one or a girlfriend or a boyfriend or something, they'll really be satisfied, especially if they like gourmand fragrances and the smell of popcorn, caramelized popcorn and things like that. Really wonderful offering. This is Perfume Sucks, Love 6567. Let me know if you're familiar with that. This next one is after the lovers have had a lot of drinking. This is Drunk Lovers from the House of Born to Stand Out. Let me know if you're familiar with this one. It's definitely one of the boozy fragrances of Born to Stand Out. They've got some great fragrances for sure. And this is a fruity, boozy gourmand with cognac, red berries, vanilla, sandalwood, amber, musk, patchouli, cardamom, ginger, benzoin, cinnamon. So it's warm, spicy, boozy, vanillic, and of course woody and earthy in the dry down, and it gets to be a little ambery as well. It smells super fantastic. Really love the way this smells. As soon as I put my nose on it, it smells really, really wonderful. I love the way it smells. Under there also, there's a bit of something creaminess, and I think the concoction is gorgeous. So yeah, you've had a bit too much to drink. Maybe you're celebrating Valentine's Day. You're drunk. You're lovers. That's Drunk Lovers from the House of Born to Stand Out. They have a collection of 4 Extrait de Parfum fragrances launching soon, by the way. If you guys haven't heard, stay tuned for that stuff. I think it should drop any minute now. And the last fragrance I'm going to recommend here as a great love-themed fragrance is from the House of Un Nuit Nomade, Love at First Sight. This is also a great fragrance for spring because it has a lot of lilacs here with acacia flower, passion fruits, and ambroxan. It might seem a bit simplistic. It's very fresh and musky as well, and fruity and floral. And lilacs are some amazing flowers that bloom in the springtime, and they bloom for a few weeks and then it's done, and the smell is super fantastic. I've got 2 lilac themed fragrances in this, but they couldn't be different from one another. The Lilac Love is more gourmand and more thick and concentrated. The Love at First Sight is more fresh and airy and breezy. It's like a spring day that's like blowing with the flowers blowing in the air, and you're getting a whiff of something floral like the lilacs with something fruity in the air as well. Gorgeous fragrance from an amazing house, Nuit Nomads. Love at First Sight is the last love-themed fragrance that I'm going to recommend for Valentine's Day. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on these fragrances. Are you a fan of these? Are there any other love-themed fragrances that you can think of with the word love in the name of the fragrance? Do add a comment below so I can find out. Of course, I don't have every fragrance in the world. These are the ones that I came up with. I felt like they were perfectly appropriate for somebody looking to either wear on Valentine's Day or to gift somebody on Valentine's Day. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye. And oh, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. See you later.